If you go to the northern part of Nigeria, there are Christians that are willing to vote for Tinubu because Nigeria now are interested who can lead them, who can be a good leader. Nobody is talking about who is coming from the north. Nobody is coming who is coming from the south. Then who can be a good leader? I can tell you that if our leaders will be fair in how and manner they run this system, there will be a trust. Nigeria will not be talking about either a Muslim, either a Christian. Nigeria will be talking about who can be a good leader. Let me just give you an example before I. If you want, if you go to the motor park, you want to travel. Do you care whether a Christian or a Muslim who is the driver?
Mm.
You are interested in who can drive the car from where you are to where you are going.
Mm.
The same thing leadership. It's not about a Christian or a Muslim, but who can be a good leader, who can drive Nigeria to the promised land. And that is what Nigerians are clamoring. So, in short, what led to all these problems is because the way and manner our leaders have been playing the game. And that's why many Nigerians lost hope and lost confidence in the leadership that resulted to all of this that you are hearing.
Mm.
Uh, Nigerians are bleeding. I can remember most of things that has disrupted this democracy. Greed has crept into the system. I can remember during Obasanjo, when he won the election, he said we will extend the hand of fellowship to other parties. But what we are seeing today in the system of government is that only one party, when a particular party won, it dominates every other offices. Other one will just be a scrap. But before, when things are normal, when you win, you extend fellowship to other parties. And that is what makes the government, the system become normal.
Mm.
Today, when any party won, other party will just abandon those ones and they will fill offices. Why I said greed has crept into the system that everyone want to be a particular party occupying that particular positions. Before it was not like that. And that is what we are seeing today. If the system can change and all these Christians and Muslims, it's not like that before. But as of 3 years ago, it became a burden to Nigeria because of the system they introduced. It affected every Nigeria. Everyone is now fighting for his own particular people, for his own particular religions. Just like what he has said, this Muslim during our MK Abiona, they were working with one goal,
Mm.
how they can make Nigeria better.
Mm.
But today we are working on our own pocket and our family. And that is why everyone is striving to see if he can be there and settle his family. If the narrative can change and we have a government that we had the heart to Nigeria and work for Nigeria, not a personal goal or personal interest or a personal religion. And it's when religions come in, and that's where we see most of the things that is happening in Nigeria today, and insecurity and other things involved. And that is what is affecting us today. And today we can change it. Today we can make it better. And all lies in our hands to watch and see who can deliver and bring us out from this mess we have entered. Nigeria has entered into a deep mess.
Mm.
And if we can open our eyes, now is not a time that they will give you 10,000. They will give you, after you have eaten all those things, you begin to suffer for many years. And that is the pain we are suffering today. If we say no, and I want to change the narrative of yesterday, and tomorrow will be better. Let's open our eyes and see the government that we can trust and deliver, and see that all these things we are crying today can be a past tense.
Mm. I think I agree with you because when you look at in those days when people come to vie for any political position, these are people with proven integrity.
Mm.
Abiola, before he came into power, we all know who he is.
Yes.
We know what he has achieved in the economical world. We know how nations have benefited from his philanthropy and a lot of things he has done. And so when such people want to bring their wealth of experience to governance, everybody embraced them. And compared to what we have to this day, everybody wants to come into government because of the things they will steal out of government. You can imagine a sitting chairman of a party saying that whatever is your crime, once you join the party, your sin is forgiven.
Yeah.
So I mean, so it means that the party is a party of criminals, is a party of looters. The institution, the individual or the party is greater than the institutions in the country. Because if you say whatever you have done, once you cross into this party,
Yeah.
you are forgiven. So it means that that party is powerful than the institution.
Exactly.
And in any democracy, to strive, the institution must be greater, powerful, organized
Stronger
than individual or any other organization.
Exactly.
You can imagine where people who have corruption leveled against them have been presented for election.
Yeah.
Somebody who AFCC is running after, and then you brought him now to come and contest for Senate. Somebody whose identity is not known. There was a time we were even asking that we should get a record from United States of America about a candidate who later they gave us the record we had. They said the name they have in their record is a female. The person in question is a male. So how do we reconcile that? We were asking if this person actually went to school. We have had presidential candidates that we don't even know the true identity of their academic status. Because by the time you go to their various schools where they trained for, they don't have perfect record of them. Such people are now our leaders. What do we expect? What do we expect? And what do we expect from people who have no respect for rules of law? And now they are leaders. I remember that there was a time where a governor in Lagos State created some local government under Obasanjo regime. Created local government. When we have a constitution that says the number of local government we have in Nigeria is 774. And you now created your own local government. I just said, no, you can't do this. Let's do this. And for almost 3 to 4 years, we went into local battle. He never demolished those local government, not until when the court pronounced that, okay, no victor, no vanquish. Go back to the status quo. Then the government should give you your entitlement period. The government had to cease. Then such a person now become the president of this country. What did they expect? We will be able to challenge him. Because some people have no respect for the rules of law. So the kind of things we are saying today, people have actually come to power and they've seen that power as their birthright, and then they can use it anyhow and nobody will say anything. Except we begin to have people who have the fear of God and who are after the good of the nation, who are patriotic Nigerians leading us. We may not find a way out. Going back to our discussion, how do we curb this issue of institutions being subdued by individuals? As a recent development in the House, when the House leadership was eager to make rules and regulations to stop some people from getting into leadership position in the House. The things you have benefited when you came in, now you don't want others that are coming to come and benefit from this. You want to use rules, using the machinery of government to oppress the citizens of Nigeria. Not how do we curb all this? We just have to ensure that the right people are in the right place.
Actually, we must allow our institution to be independent. And
Is that possible?
is possible. People must learn to voice out when things are wrong. We have our civil societies, we have civic organization, we have pressure groups. We must learn to speak when things are wrong.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
When you talk about pressure group, you talk about civil society, and you talk about these are institutions that the mighty ones have oppressed them. End of do you remember NSAS?
I
How
remember.
they shot at the protest?
Yes.
Do you remember that when you talk, they look for people to they pick you up? Today you complain, tomorrow you are no longer in the street, you have been arrested. Now you remember our Nigerian police is making cyber what do you call it, cyber crime law, that some statement you make is
Recorded.
is recorded and is crime.
Yes.
So you see, fear has been instilled into the people that you can no longer say, even if you see, you can't talk. They fear of being intimidated.
The truth of the matter, we must learn to speak. When you run away from the fight is still waiting for you. This is the reality. We must continue to have people to speak. If you remember answers, they brought government to stand still that time. But later they have to what? There was some conditions before they allow things to continue. So I still want to maintain and I still want to say it. Nigeria, when we learn to speak with one voice, things will change. Where we are having problem is that on a little issue we bring a religion issue, on a little issue we bring ethnic issue, and that's what is affecting the whole thing. And our leaders are aware; they know. So anytime they discover that they have a policy that the people will kick against, they try to find a way that will bring religion or ethnic issue
divide
into
us
there
with
so
it.
that they can divide us. When things now, let me ask you a question. When we go to market, we don't have different market for Christian, for Muslim, or for Hausa, or for Yorubas,
Yes.
or for Igbo. We go for the same market, the same suffering. Then why is it that we cannot talk by using the same voice? So on this issue, on your question, sir, the only way that we can make our institution to become strong is one, people must learn to speak when things are wrong. Our judiciary today, they are at the mercies of the politicians. Whatever they are told, that's what they do. This is what we are seeing. So we must learn to ensure that when things are wrong, let the people speak. Imagine we have over 200 million Nigerians. How can we allow just few people, just 1% of the people, to continue to work, to continue to turn our sense the way they want? So I'm of the opinion, sir, the best way is one, the people must learn to speak up whenever things are wrong. Let us speak in one voice. In fact, this example you gave answers, if everyone could remember that time, it was a great movement that brought government to stand still. And government had to agree on some conditions before they give up, even though we are aware that some lives were lost.
Yes.
So if it will cost our life, it's better our children they should come and work and find the system in the right manner than for us to continue to have this kind of a system simply because we are afraid to speak. We must learn to speak. We must learn to allow our voices to be heard. And whenever the leaders begin to see that the people are working together, let me tell you, there's nothing they can do about it. Imagine if the north, the west, the east, everybody is talking on the same matter, and we are standing on the same issue. How do you expect that one or two people can change the system? But because they are aware, we are to some extent, I'm sorry to use that word, we are coward to some extent, they bring religion into the matter. And the northern people begin to talk about religion. The southern people begin to talk about religion. And before you knew it, that problem, they will have their way. But the best way that we can handle some of this matter is we must learn to speak in one voice. The north, the east, the south, let's come together and talk. Anytime they discover that there is issue like this, okay, the best, okay, let me break religion. And once Nigerians begin to talk about religion, the main issue everybody will forget about it. And it's all about now we start what? Accusing each other, pointing finger at each other. So, in my own opinion, our democratic system or our institution can be strong when we learn them to be independent. And the only way they can be independent when the people stand on their ground, speak in one voice. And that's the only way we can ensure that the institution will be strong. Thank you, sir.
I strongly believe on what he has said. If we continue to speak, things will change and our institution we stand. Uh, One of the things that affects the system is just this religion, especially in the north, because they value the religions and they can die with the religion. If we continue to speak and not having fear in us, the system will change. Let's assume that if a voice came from north, another one came from east, another one came from west, and is standing on particular thing, even the government will become afraid because no government is bigger than the masses. And that's why they say you can't bend a broom, but you can bend one pieces of a broom. So it take only a man to change situations, and that man have to stand. And if he don't talk, things will continue to change. Things will continue to get worse. But when he continue to speak, other people will hear your voice. And people that know the truth, it's only truth that cannot be hidden. People that know the truth of what you are speaking, they will stand by you. Just like the answers we talk about. Voices came out, even international, and every eyes is on Nigeria. Let's assume that these people did not walk out in the street. What is happening will continue to happen. So for us to make our institution to be stable, we will continue to speak and without fear and with courage. And when we speak and we see that things will begin to change in Nigeria.
But do you think it's going to be possible to break that religious barrier?
It's possible.
Because you see, I had an experience. I was coming one day and I saw somebody who I know very well. I picked a woman, an elderly woman. That was before the election, 2023 election. And the woman was saying, Uncle, please ensure that we vote our person into power. I said, who is your person? Who's our person? Our person now, you are a Yoruba man now that's supposed to know that our own is the one that's supposed to be there. I said, is it by Yoruba or by qualification? I said, no, 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 no. You cannot, I'm disappointed in you. The houses have had their own. It's our turn to have our own now. Don't go and do it. I said, what if there is a better candidate than your? He said, no, even if it cannot be, let him just occupy that position and then go. That is the belief of an average Nigerian. This person is educated. But look at what is coming out of his mouth or her mouth. And the same thing with this religion of a thing. I've had a friend in a local election who told me that he would have loved to vote for me, but by virtue of his religion, he cannot vote for an infidel. What he said. But we have seen in the history of Nigeria, I don't want to look at the votes that has brought some of our leaders into power. It's not the vote of one religion. It has been the combined religion. But you know, this is what they use to demarcate us. They talk to the poor, the masses, the downtrodden, and tell them that this person is not good, this tribe is not good, this tribe religion is not good, and so they walk along that. So when you now come and say what this person is doing is wrong, but because the person belongs to their tribe or religion, they don't see reasons. They just feel that it's our own. Let him, like this woman, whether it's bad or good, let him just go there and occupy. And for how long are we going to remain
Nigeria will
like this?
continue to suffer.
You see, program like this will go a long way in sensitizing many Nigerians. One. And number two, we need to work on our religious leader. If you remember, there was a time when Nasru El-Rufai was governor in Kaduna. He wanted to, like, until you are licensed as a pastor or imam before you preach. In fact, to some extent, I wanted to buy into that idea. The reason not because of I really want it that way, but simply because of some of our leaders are not helping this country. Imagine you stand before your congregation to tell them, instead of you to encourage and promote unity in Nigeria, you are causing division. I was just told, I don't know, I just read it, I don't know how to it is the current president of this country, Burkina Faso. I was told that one of the imam who actually wanted to cause problems, he was arrested. We must go to a level where our leaders, we should begin to hold them accountable, even the people, the congregation, we need to hold them accountable. Now, government must ensure that before you are licensed or allowed to preach, or even if we don't adopt that system, any system that has to do with that will cause problems, we should learn to arrest. And we should also draw the attention of our leaders by encouraging them. Let us preach things that will promote unity in Nigeria. If we continue to work on this, now look at the digital imam. Recently, I was looking on the in a I saw it on the social media. Both Christian and Muslim were coming together. They are raising funds that he fell sick
Mm,
in abroad,
mm,
and they want to welcome him in a special way to Nigeria. He
mm,
has been promoting peace.
mm,
So there are leaders who are promoting peace. We have seen them.
mm,
There are leaders who are instigating problem in this country.
mm,
So I want to also draw the attention of our people. Do not listen to such people. And at the same time, program like this will go a long way.
mm.
There are many people through this program will be able to sensitize. Media houses have a big role to play
Okay.
by ensuring that we sensitize them. So
Thank you
thank
very
you very
much.
much, sir.
Like we have some of our uh, viewers on the street. They also want to contribute. Can we hear their view? Some of our viewers on the street.
And like we said, we are coming back shortly. So now we're on the streets of Sokoto and we are asking our viewers, Nigerians, what their take on democracy is. What's your take on democracy, sir?
Um, once again, I'm Samuel by name, and Nigeria, we were told Nigeria will start experiencing democracy, but presently, I can say that with what we are seeing, we are not practicing democracy at all. Because if you look at what democracy means, a system where the people elect people that will represent them, and then the representative pass the decision being considered, but Nigeria is not so. It's no one of the things features of democracy is of the law. Where we have people today, leaders today obey the laws and expect the common masses. If you try to do anything or forces they have against you, so it's a terrible thing. Honestly, me, it's a no in Nigeria presently right now. Some of our kids are out there that have been kidnapped. People are shouting, crying every. It's not so they are just next year's election. Because honestly, when you look at war,
Thank you very much, sir. That's our view, one of our viewers, and he said that's his own take on democracy. We'd like to ask another Nigerian what his take on democracy is. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you, sir. Sir, please, we'd like to ask you what your take on democracy is.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Alan Alfred. My take on democracy is this, in as much as today being the 12th of June, our Democracy Day here in Nigeria, how I wish I can say so many positive things concerning the democracy, because we all know that Democracy Day is actually a day that serves as a reminder to our core principles here in Nigeria, to our core principles of democracy. And one of the principles is the right of citizenship. You understand? Like the how do I call it? The human rights, protection of human rights, and most of them. So what I want you to understand is that today now we live in a country, even though that, yes, we made mention of democracy, but that principle is no longer maintained. We have several cases of abduction and so many other things out there. And it's not really saying right of us as in Nigeria practicing the system of democracy. Another thing is accountability and transparency in the government. You see that so many things have been manipulated without even the knowing of the citizens. So many things are just being hidden and just how I wish I said already. I can say so many positive things about the country, but the answer is just no, no. That's just it.
Thank you very much. That's another Nigerian, and that's his own take on democracy. See you shortly when we
Some speakers on the street, the first speaker said democracy is electing our leaders, people to represent us. How true is it that the people representing us are the people we have elected?
Sincerely, if you go by what they have promised us, it's unfortunate. Because I remember one of
Excuse me, let us not even look at the promise. The first thing, are the people representing us are the people we elected?
they are not.
They are not.
They are not.
And you, like you said, democracy is electing people to represent us. But the people we find representing us are not the people we
They are
elect.
not.
So if you didn't, if I didn't choose you, then definitely you will not run my agenda. So that is the number one problem. And then, like you were saying,
Okay, if you look at the promises, one of the promise I can remember is they promised to give us NEPA, that's power supply,
mm,
within the space of 4 years.
mm,
In my area, this is about 4 days we didn't see light.
I think I saw light yesterday, stroke this morning for around that
Now, if you
1
look at
a.m. till this morning.
if you look at one of the viewers,
After 3 days.
he talked about insecurity. He talked about the kidnap of the school children
Mhm,
in Oyo State.
mhm,
I talked about insecurity. So today we are supposed to be celebrating democracy.
mm,
We are supposed to be celebrating good governance.
mm,
We are supposed to be celebrating freedom.
mm,
But it's quite unfortunate that our kids are in our forest in the hands of kidnappers. Even as we are seated here, our safety is not guaranteed.
mm.
Many people left their homes because of insecurity. Here in Sokoto, go to Raba local government, places like Gandhi, people evacuated. You can't live there.
And I remember during Goodluck Jonathan,
Yes.
Chibok issue,
Girls,
these same people in government now
choose this government.
came even demonstrated. And yet now they are in government, worse than that is happening.
Exactly. So it's quite unfortunate if you go by what is happening to human rights.
Mm,
Today, when you speak as a Nigerian, the next thing you are apprehended by the security men.
mm,
So we need to actually go back to the drawing board. We are not getting things right. We are seeing democracy day to day. Some of these kids they are in the hands of kidnappers. In fact, if don't go from here in Sokoto, a woman day before yesterday on her way to Buso, she has been kidnapped.
mm.
Nobody is talking about that.
It is not enough.
Our military, see the way our manager they are killing our military.
It's normal now.
We have a retired general currently in Katsina who is in the hands of the bandits in this country. So we celebrate it. So if you go by what we are hearing on the street, I told you many Nigerians are not seeing anything to be celebrated. Government must work, must ensure that they deliver dividend of democracy. Else, I am telling you, this country is going somewhere else.
Mm.
So, as far as I'm concerned, if you hear what is happening from the viewers on the street, you discover that many Nigerians are not happy. I'm sitting here, I'm not happy too. I don't know whether you are happy.
God will help us.
Amen.
Amen.
The situation is so pathetic.
Sincerely, we have seen the viewers in the street. The first interviewer said, we are not celebrating democracy. Because of what is happening in Nigeria. If you can see the period of President Tinubu, all this insecurity has been on ground. And we have not seen that Nigerian army take a decision, enter the forest, at least in Sokoto enter forest, in Oyo enter forest, in Calabar enter forest, in Maiduguri enter forest. You will see that, in fact, 1 month is even big for our security agencies to stop all this menace that is happening in Nigeria. We could have been talking of celebrating democracy if something has been done since 2 years and now. And Nigeria see the effect that we have a government that is representing us. We can see that, like say that we don't have any government on ground. We are on the system by ourselves. And that is what is happening in Nigeria. If you have a government that can speak and things will happen, all these things that is we are seeing today in Nigeria, we have not been seeing them today. Something would have been done. Nigeria would have recorded a massive achievement since that time till now. But like it's happening worse every day. Today you hear another news. Tomorrow you hear another different news. Another one you hear another different news. Is it the democracy our people, our past heroes have handed over to us that we are running? Every Nigeria is crying. It's not even talking of let's leave insecurity. The hardship in Nigeria is alarming. When the government enter the power, what they did in the first day of entering government is to remove our subsidy. And that is the problem Nigerians are facing. Even before removing of the subsidy, we still have 1 month that left for the subsidy to be exhausted. He removed it. He have not checked, no refinery built, so that he can subsidize this we are talking. Refinery are not built. It's only the government have not cross-checked the system, what is going on, how those money are going. He will crush it at that particular moment. And that is what Nigeria is suffering from today. You see, if we go everywhere in Nigeria, it's the same cry. Everyone is crying.
North, east, south.
Everyone is crying. Last 2 weeks last week there were protests. 2 weeks there were protests in Oyo. People with black cards. What the government did.
The very
At
dark man
least-
is still protesting in Abuja up to now.
At least government could have rise and see that this thing stop. And that's why we have a joy to say yes, we are celebrating a democracy because we have seen we relief from Nigeria. Now, today, you are walking on the street, you are not free. You are walking close to your house, you are not free. You are walking on the road, you are not free. So how can we celebrate
Do you know the
democracy?
painful thing, sir? The government want us to believe that things are right.
When
In
things are
fact,
not,
yes, when things are not right. And the government, in fact, I like one of the Nigerians said, you cannot market what is not marketable. Now, what if you want to campaign for this government? I'm not talking about APC, anyone at any level. What do you have to see? In
all
terms
this
of all sector,
showcase.
in all sector. Is it security?
Yeah.
Is it economic
Yeah.
aspect, education?
Yeah.
Is it health?
Yeah.
Mention them. It's quite unfortunate that whatever you see in Nigeria is beneficial enjoying today, you have to look for that thing yourself. The education of your children, nothing government is doing about it. Health issue, nothing government is doing about it. Insecurity, don't even talk about it. So it's quite unfortunate that today we are supposed to be celebrating good governance, We are supposed to be celebrating accountability. We are supposed to be celebrating transparency on the part of government. But today is quite unfortunate. Like he has said, this is not what was handed over to us by our heroes. But it's unfortunate that today everything has changed.
Honestly, everything has changed. Some of us, when we talk or when we listen to some of our leaders talk, they keep telling us that America was not built in a day. United Kingdom, it took them 400 years. It took them, you see, when somebody achieves the heights,
Mm,
those of you that have not made such an achievement, it's easier for you because you study what they have done.
mm,
You don't have to stay that long
mm,
to achieve what they have achieved.
Yes.
They are now a pace setter.
mm.
They are now a reference point.
Yes.
So you could go study. I remember when Purpose came into power,
Mm,
he went to um, the governor of Lagos State, the then governor of Lagos State. What's his name now? Who was later the minister for power? And
Babatude Fashola.
Fashola. He said, I have seen the good work we did in Lagos State. Please, can you school us? And then he brought all his commissioners to Lagos.
Hmm.
And they went through tutorial.
Mm,
And then he go to Kano. He transformed Kano. If you go to Kano now, you will see how beautiful Kano is. Look
yes.
like. Because somebody saw the good work a
Yeah.
fellow governor have done, and then he went and
Oh,
our leaders travel every day. We see the good things outside the country, but they leave those good things and come back to come and oppress our people. And they tell us that we should wait. America was not built in a day. How long are we going to remain like
they
this?
see Nigeria as a looting ground. I'm telling you, this is
Hmm.
what they take this country to be. And that's why you see most of them, their children are not schooling in Nigeria.
Of course.
That's why you see most of them, their businesses is not even here. They don't invest in Nigeria.
Hmm.
So here is the looting ground as far as they are concerned. So tell me, somebody who don't have Nigeria in heart, how do you expect to bring development in Nigeria? Imagine state governor what they collect is as allocation every month. Go and check out their project, whether it commensurate with
How they
what they are collecting every month.
Hmm.
It's quite unfortunate.
Hmm.
I remember during Tambo's time, he was collecting just around 5 billion naira here in Sokoto State. He pays salary about 3 billion, 3 point something billion. But today, what is state government collecting?
Hmm.
Go to Sabombrini, go to Isa, go to Goronyo. These are areas that people don't even go. And these are people that are crying because of insecurity.
Yes.
It is time that we need to take security very serious. If we cannot achieve anything, at least we should be able to have a record we have achieved success in the aspect of security. Now,
But
that is why I keep on saying it that it is time that Nigeria must hold their government accountable. 2027 is coming very soon. Now, let us reflect back. Today is a day that we need to reflect back and look. If today we are not happy, we are not celebrating today, then what is it telling me and you? That we need to do something by 2027. There are good people who can make Nigeria great. There are people who can change the history of this country. It depends on you and I. I don't need to come and tell you now. In fact, I say if Nigerians were in our right senses, we don't need to campaign for good ones now. Nigerian, by what we are seeing now, we must have learned a lesson. I just told you a woman going to the soul was kidnapped, but I told you here in Sokoto recently, day before yesterday, she's in the hands of bandits. So many families they are crying.
but
Yes, sir.
if you look at if you look at our climate, the political climate right now as it is,
Yes.
do you think that is possible for us to actually make a change come the next election? When you see the primaries conducted by all the people, the parties that have conducted the primary, they are all in court.
You call
They
that
are all in.
you call that the primary.
They are fighting this. This one is not right.
It's election.
The only party seems to be stable is the APC
Eh?
that they have already finished the whole election.
Yes.
I don't see us coming out of this mess we find ourselves because it's like there is is an institution already fighting all other parties, that they will not even have time to campaign or to even be legitimate. I mean, they can't even be allowed to contest elections. So every one of them have one issue or the other to trash out.
You see, my problem with Nigeria is that even the ADC that we are hoping, if you go by their election, it was quite very unfortunate. It's part of the reason Peter Obi also had to leave the party. They saw that problem before they left. And if you look at it, Babachi recently, former SGF of Nigeria,
Yes.
came out and said that the process was wrong. It's part of the reason he left the party. So what I'm trying to say is that if we are talking about leaders that will take over from a corrupt leader, then we need a leader that are not corrupt. So when you look at Nigerian problems, sometimes you keep on wondering. So me, I want to say if Nigerians should open their eyes. It's not about a party, big party. We can go back to other small parties that we think that they are not relevant. They have good candidates there. If we cannot see any leader who is coming, I don't have any choice for Nigeria. Then let us look inwardly. It's not about someone who has made it in the past. It's all about who can what, who can take this country to a promised land. So even the ADC that we thought that they are going to salvage Nigeria, some of the primaries we saw, it's quite very unfortunate. And even APC, as I speak to you now, there are a lot of aggrieved persons because to them they say this is a selection, it's not a primary.
Yes, but you know, they have been settled as usual. We know how APC got, even the first election that brought in the president. We knew how it got to where it
But is that how we continue?
That's the question. Because you see, I want to believe that it's a deliberate attempt to catch us what I call political imprisonment.
Exactly.
Because these people want to deny us our health. That's why our hospitals are not
Actually,
They want to deny us our security. So you cannot move around to be able to associate and educate others that okay, this is what you should do, this is how you should move on. And they deny us even ability to make money. I can't imagine somebody who is in government and yet we are going through insecurity. You have fought a previous government. So before we continue, let's hear from some of the viewers on the street. Let's hear some of their view.
Our mic. Huh? Our mic.
not sure to ring. Listen down. Shut my
They are put on when this one's off. It's supposed to be sleep on it.
She said they have seen this one.
Welcome back once again. We are still on the street of Sokoto, and here we have more Nigerians that want to say their mind. So this is our mommy here. She would like to express herself. Mommy, I'd like to ask you, what's your take on democracy? My mind of view in democracy. They say democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But it's not happening like that any longer. The fear of God is no more there. Our leaders, and after this world, where are we going? No more fear of God. Let us remember, please, we are pleading for our leaders. As a leader, after you lead, finish the last day. And what will be your faith? And what will you tell God at the last day? How did you lead? Those ones will be in your record before God. So whatever we are, and have fear of God. See our children, our brothers, our sisters, our mom suffering, and our leaders are in the position to save them. It will not matter of twinkling of eye and they will be free. They, because our leaders have said the birthright of Nigeria, they pretend as if they don't know what is happening. And true, they know what is happening. And they forgot the judgment of God at last. Please, I'm standing on the gap for Nigeria and say, please, our leaders should remember the judgment at the last day and save us and lead us aright. Do it right so that you will get it right. So that the last day, your judgment will be clear. You will inherit the kingdom of God. Kingdom of God is real and heaven is hell is real. We should have that at the back of our mind. Thank you. Thank you very much, mommy. And I would like to ask another Nigerian. Thank you very much, ma. Would like to ask another person what her take is, ma. What's your take on democracy, ma? It's with that democracy for this Nigeria. Well, yeah, even the small small children, sef, and now they just for every democracy. What is even democracy? Big people. Whether the for that, I their sense correct. Me, I know wetin dem dey do. Dem dey inside AC, we dey inside sun. Can you imagine dey dress at university? Just that it's not making sense. I don't know how people talk there. Things as in they should improve. They should help youth are outside, no work, there's no work for people. You go school finish, you graduate, problem. No employee, everybody does their house. After they go say people dey thief. It's not go thief. Thank you very much. That's our opinion.
All right, right now, I would like to have a brother who also wants to speak about how Nigeria have been from 10 years ago till now. What can you say about Nigeria democracy from 10 years till now? Like, what do you fit talk? Speak your mind.
I go talk am now. First of all, this country wey we dey, eh, e no dey really safe at all. Because when I check Nigeria in the year 2014, 2013, Nigeria then and Nigeria now, difference dey. Look then, if you check 2012, if you check am well, you see say banditry, e no dey. But check now, check this 2026 ten ure, 2025 to 2026. Na here you dey sell. Tell you say ordinary some villages no fit sleep based on wetin gunshot. To eat 3 times a day, omo ìyá mi na stress. Even garri now, e don cost, rice don cost, egg don this period sef if you wan chop food, meat no dey dey. We come talk say we get country wey be say Nigeria, and dem say Nigeria na giant of Africa. I no sure say my country na giant of Africa. The giant wey I know then no be him I dey see now. I swear. So wetin I just want be say make we sha dey pray for the country, because if we dey depend on our leaders, omo they no go do anything for us. Because if you check am online, there's something our president was saying. If you hear that word, say when I hear the word, omo I first off light. But wetin we need presently, make we just pray. Na only God fit save Nigeria. Man no fit save Nigeria. So abeg, make una no forget, make una dey pray. Abeg una God.
Na only God fit save Nigeria. Man no fit save Nigeria. Okay, right now we'll be having the Hausa version. Yes, and to do that, Dishi Mazagambara will run that. So Dishi,
Are you ready? Masu kallo daga titi dai har wa yau daga wannan kuma tasha ta New Dawn International TV, muna ci gaba da kalato muku ra'ayoyin mutane ne daban-daban dangane da wannan rana ta dimokuraɗiyya ta yau da muke ciki. A daidai wannan lokaci kuma muna tare da wani bawan Allah wanda za mu ji ra'ayinsa. Malam menene sunanka?
Sunana Umar Muhammad.
Umar Muhammad, yau ne ranar dimokuraɗiyya ta Najeriya. Me za ka bayyana, me za ka ce game da wannan rana?
So wannan rana ma har wai akwai wani abu da za mu buɗe baki mu ce wai akwai wata rana da ranar dimokuraɗiyya. Ai ni bakina ma zanzana yake yi in ga cewa wai ni ma zan faɗa a nan. Shin jin daɗi ko rashin jin daɗi? Babu wani jin daɗi. Yanzu a matsayina na okada, ka sha mai naira 7,000, 8,000 da ƙyar ka haɗa wani abun da zai ka je ka aje ko ka bayar da abinci. Ina maganar abin da ya shafi lafiyar yarana da iyayena da ƙannena a musamman nan arewacin Najeriya. Ni mutumin Zamfara ne,
Don hakan ga ni babu wani abu a ranar wai ranar dimokuraɗiyya babu ta ma babu. A duk wani lokaci misali da a ce ka samu damar ganawa da mai girma shugaban ƙasa wani saƙo za ka ba shi ko wace magana za ka gaya mar? To da a ce yanzu zan gan shi ko a ce in haɗu da shi ko a bani dama in yi magana da shi ta waya. Abin da zan ce mishi to wai ko da gaske ne shi shugaban ƙasa ne a Najeriya kuma yana gani ko yana saurari abin da ke tafiya. Saboda me? Rashin kwanciyar hankali, rashin tsaro, tashin hankali, fitintunu sun yawa. Ana kashe mana 'ya'ya, ana kashe mana iyaye, ana kashe mu ƙananan yara da manya a arewacin Najeriya. Mu yi magana kan cewa wai ranar dimokuraɗiyya. A ina? Babu. To wannan ra'ayinka ne dai. Masu kallo, yau ce fa ranar dimokuraɗiyya ta Najeriya, kuma ranar wanka an ce ba a ɓoyen cibi. Wannan kaɗan daga cikin ra'ayoyin wato mutane kenan. Ku ci gaba da kasancewa tare da mu a wannan tasha ta New Dawn Media, New Dawn International TV domin ci gaba da jin ra'ayoyin wasu mutane na daban. Muna godiya. Na gode.
Thank you, Dishi Maza Gambara. Okay, we have another person here who wants to talk about how Nigeria have been so far under the democracy thing. Okay, please tell us.
Name is Elijah.
Elijah, please, how fair has Nigeria been to you so far?
I cannot really explain because the situation of this country now, it's something I cannot even talk about. I don't really understand the situation of this country because Nigeria has not been fair since this present government started. So things has been very, very cost that we the poor we cannot even like survive the way we are supposed to survive. So the thing is just like kind of alarming and surprising now presently that we just need a God to survive. That's what I can say for now.
Straight question. If they give you one day to rule Nigeria, what will be the first thing what you go do?
I would just like kind of all those old people, I would just remove them once, even thinking it because they are at the top now presently. Yeah.
Okay, the problem of Nigeria now, the old people, based on Elijah. So how if he takes over, he say he go remove all the old people. Okay, we'll come back to the streets. Let's go back to the studio. Thank you.
Word is dedicated to all Nigerian citizens. We, the people. 23. Nigeria became a future progeny. We became the people our ancestors prayed for, calling it Democratic Day. Because on this day, we learn to speak without air being strangled out of our throats. We learn to choose our future, whether it be for better or worse, and of course, what if it's been 27 years of uninterrupted democratic government? Didn't you say democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people? So tell me, when did for the people become before the people? When did leadership become a throne instead of a table? When did our leaders' promises become like data subscription that expires before our phone batteries? For so long, they called us the giants of Africa. But sometimes these giants are smashed on their feet like beetles. Our youth scour and scavenge like vultures in need. As the prices of things keep rising like China rapture, still they will tell you you have to manage. You will feel like you want to die, but you will not die. Here, lack of job opportunities has become a competition, causing us to surrender. Because why else will our soldiers call us bloody civilians when you said we have our civil rights? Where then is our freedom of speech? Where is our freedom? 40 children are somewhere in the forest crying for help. Nigeria, remember the majority rule. Together we stand, divided we fall. I hope you remember that democracy is a day where we come out to choose our leaders, our future, and for the betterment of us. Because we will be held accountable for every form of nepotism. It is time to awaken the spirit of meritocracy for a free election, for a peaceful election. So, because we will be held accountable, it's time for us to come out, to deliberate, to speak our minds. Because somehow we have now learned to travail like the woman king, wipe away blood stains to conceal the pain, hoping that one day we will prevail. Enough is enough. So now we rise again, we fight again, we speak again, with the hope that the labor of our futures will not be in vain. So, Nigeria, this is a call out to you. Come out. Enough of hiding in the dark, enough of lurking in the shadows. Because every expression of temerity is a failure of our responsibilities to choose our future. And today, this future lies in our hands. So it's time for us to choose transparency. It's time for us to choose equality. It's time for us to choose justice and everything good. Thank you.
uh, viewers, the streets, and one of them was saying that she's standing in the gap for other Nigerians, pleading to our leaders that they should fear God. They should fear God. And that becomes a very necessary point because one will ask, do they even know God? But they will have to fear the God. Some of them have lost their soul to the devil, and so the fear of God is no longer in them. Because how can you explain that there are children and human beings in the bush being kidnapped and the government is in place, and yet the government is not doing anything to rescue them? We find it difficult to believe, like one of our panelists here said, that our soldiers are not going to the forest. They go to the forest. They are sent to the forest. But what they give them to go into the forest, does it commensurate with the enemy's gun? If you are fortunate to have relatives as part of the soldiers, you will hear their cry.
Mm.
And by the time they cry, they arrest them for
Crying.
for yes. They arrest them. We have seen some that are dismissed. We have seen some that are imprisoned.
Mm.
because they said the truth. How can you ask me to go and fight somebody who is carrying gun, sophisticated machine gun, and you give me a cutlass to go and fight somebody who is carrying gun? How can I even assess him? That is the kind of situation they find themselves. What they are carrying is not compared to what those guys are carrying. So, and then it baffles me to know that some of these things happening, if you look at banditry and all these issues that we are even confronting today, it's all about the wealth of the country. If you look at our location here, example, it's about the gold mining. Is the gold not mined by government? Why do foreigners have access to this gold? That they now secure the place, and then some people are now mining and using banditry to divert to turn away the eyes of the people so that they can access. So you see why some people say that banditry can never end in Nigeria, because there are few individuals that are benefiting from this ban. People have come out in the social media to say a lot of things, and yet government have not come out to refute some of these things.
I will continue to blame the Nigerians.
No.
The ball is on our court. 2027 is at the corner. If you listen to some of viewers on the street, if you ask them, most of them they don't have voters card.
You can't imagine.
By 2027, they will not participate in the voting.
Can't imagine. We only
And they are the same people who are lamenting, who are complaining now.
Mm.
Now, 2027 is at the corner. 2027 is coming
2027
by,
is by the corner.
by the corner.
Yes.
Barrister, my question there is that how many Nigerians has voters
That's
card?
right.
How many Nigerians will participate? That is the only way we can change this narrative.
I think it's one of the questions we ask as we go back to the online viewers, to the roadside viewers. Ask them, who giving us their own view. We ask them, do they have
voters
voters card?
Sound check 1 2. Are you ready? Har wa yau dai dangane da jin ra'ayoyin mutane 'yan Najeriya game da wannan rana ta dimokuraɗiyya. A daidai wannan lokaci muna tare da wani matashi yana mana nashi ra'ayi game da wannan rana. Malam menene sunanka?
Sunana
Malam Umar, yau ce ranar dimokuraɗiyya ta Najeriya. Me za ka ce game da wannan rana?
rana ta Juma'a yau. Muna da matsalar tashin hankali gaskiya a yau.
A yayin da ake ainihin murna ne ta zagayowar ranar dimokuraɗiyya ta Najeriya tun daga 1999 kawo yanzu ana cikin mulki na dimokuraɗiyya. Shin akwai wasu ci gaba ko kuma akwai wasu abubuwa da kake gani da za ka iya bayyana ma masu kallonmu game da wannan rana?
Lallai akwai ci gaba gaskiya da al'amura. Muna cikin su yanzu gaskiya, matsalolin mu tashin hankali da matsalar mu yanzu.
Kai ɗan wace jiha ce?
Mu ɗan wata jihar Turita, ƙauyen Turita.
Nan cikin Sokoto?
A ƙauyen Turita dai, ƙauye na Turita muke.
To ban sani ba, menene ka ce game da menene ra'ayinka game da ita wannan rana ta dimokuraɗiyya?
Wagga ranar gaskiya, wagga rana muna cikin farin ciki yanzu dai gaskiya, wagga ranar ta Juma'a. Lallai muna cikin farin cikin ta dai gaskiya.
To akwai wani ƙalubale ko akwai wani saƙo wanda za mu iya cewa za ka ba su inda abin a ce ka ga mai girma shugaban ƙasa Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Gaskiya babu shi yanzu don dai ana kan uzuri yanzu gaskiya, akwai uzuri.
Muna godiya, ra'ayinka kenan. A daidai wannan lokaci dai ra'ayoyin mutane muke ta kalatowa game da wannan rana ta dimokuraɗiyya daga wannan tasha ta talabijin New Dawn International TV. Ku ci gaba da abin da nake so shine ka tsaya ka ba mu ra'ayoyi, misali idan kana jin daɗin wannan dimokuraɗiyya ko ba ka jin daɗi ko wani abu, ka gane?
shine za mu bari mu sake sake.
Masu kallo a daidai wannan lokaci dai a ci gaba da kawo muku ra'ayoyi na jama'a game da wannan rana ta dimokuraɗiyya ta Najeriya 12 ga wannan wata na Jun shekara ta 2026. A daidai wannan lokaci ina tare da wani matashi wanda zan so shi ma in ji nashi ra'ayi game da wannan rana. Malam menene sunanka?
Sunana Umar.
Umar, yau ce ranar dimokuraɗiyya ta Najeriya. Me za ka bayyana, wani saƙo kake da shi game da wannan rana ta dimokuraɗiyya?
Saƙona gaskiya muna cikin rana ta farin ciki ta ranar Juma'a yau. Eh,
To, kana ganin akwai wani ci gaba a wannan mulki na dimokuraɗiyya da muke ciki? Me za ka bayyana?
lallai akwai ci gaba gaskiya wanga mulkin da ake ciki.
Da a ce ka ga mai girma shugaban ƙasa, wani saƙo za ka wato ko in ce wace magana za ka gaya masa?
Gaskiya magana da zan gaya mai, tashin hankali muna ciki ne yanzu, a gyara mana Najeriya. Shi zan gaya mai.
Kana da katin zaɓe?
Eh, ina da katin zaɓe gaskiya.
To a daidai wannan lokaci zan iya cewa siyasa tana so ta kankama, zan iya cewa za a fara kowane lokaci kila daga yanzu. Kana ganin a wannan zaɓe da ke zuwa, ya kake ganin za ka yi wannan zaɓe? Irin wasu wurare ne da muke ji ana cewa ana ba da abinci ko kuɗaɗe a yi zaɓe. Me za ka ce game da wannan?
Lallai ana ba da kuɗaɗe, ana ba da abinci kuma gaskiya har zamana ana ba su, ana ba da wuri kuma.
To a
Lallai.
wannan karo kana ganin mutane 'yan Najeriya su yi wannan ɗabi'a ko kuma su guje ma wannan ɗabi'a?
Gaskiya ga alamu yanzu bana ba su yin ta.
Me yasa kake ganin ba za a yi ba?
Don saboda suna cikin tashin hankali yanzu, ya samu tsayuwar ana cikin tashin hankali yanzu.
To muna godiya da wannan ra'ayi naka, muna godiya. Masu kallo a daidai wannan lokaci tashar New Dawn International TV ce kuke ci gaba da kasancewa, inda muke kawo muku ra'ayoyuka daban-daban na mutane dangane da wannan rana ta demokradiyya. Muna godiya, ku ci gaba da bibiyar mu.
All right, the streets, and with me is your name,
Olamide.
Olamide. Olamide, today is Democracy Day. You know, say today na Democracy Day, as you know, Sha. And Nigeria from many years back and now, how you fit take compare am?
Boy, matter long o. Wala the matter long. Nigeria before and now, everything hard now, sha. Nigeria before better pass now. I swear it's normal.
Okay, Nigeria before better pass now. How we fit take make this Nigeria better?
To make Nigeria better now, to just make all the things wey dey happen now, make just know how to take sort everything out. Cause like this, everybody no know their lane. Some of people say they fear to travel based on the situation because of attaining the road. All these people wey dey for road anyhow, they dey go. And again, some sef dey fear to even come home, to even go home. Nobody dey travel, even home no safe. Home no safe o.
Home no safe. Okay, make I ask you this question. To make am better, I believe say now we youth for the society suppose make those decisions. And how we fit take make those decisions? We suppose get our voters card to do the needful. Abi,
Yeah,
the question now be say you get voters card.
I get voters card o, but I no sure say I go vote.
You no sure say you go do anything?
I go vote.
Why you no go vote?
I no fit. I no fit vote. I don go keep am one side. But even you vote, no be wetin you go. Another, and again, if you say you choose this one, another person go come, go rise up. So we dey do from every now.
They say nothing like voting for him home side. He don't go keep your voters card from somewhere. How we want to change this country when all of us they hide our voters card because of say we don't vote before
and the thing no count. Wetin make you think say if you vote now, e no go count? If you really want to change Nigeria, we all need to come out, get your PVC, your voters card is very important, and go to where you are supposed to vote and vote. Together, we can make Nigeria a better place. Thank you.
Muna tare da wani matashi wanda zai bayyana mana nasa ra'ayi game da wannan rana ta demokradiyya ta Najeriya. Malam menene sunanka?
Suna Yusuf Oladan.
Malam Yusha'u Ladan, yau ce ranar demokradiyya ta Najeriya. A menene za ka bayyana game da demokradiyyar Najeriya a halin da ake ciki? Akwai ci gaba ne ko ko dai yaya abin yake a naka ra'ayi?
To gaskiya da wannan ra'ayi ni da ci gaban da akwai haka yau. Saboda yanzu ni dai sana'ar tuƙi nake ta okada. Man ya gani amma yanzu yana ishe ni 10,000.
In aka fito man 2000 yana isarka, amma yanzu kuma
Ina ishe ni 10,000 gaskiya. An kushe
in aka san haka.
gaskiya aka san haka. Shi yasa kuma zaɓe yana ganin bai cikin raina.
To a daidai wannan lokaci kuma zan so ƙila in ji menene ko in ce wace magana za ka gaya ma mai girma shugaban ƙasa Bola Ahmed Tinubu idan da za ka samu damar ku yi magana ko ku gana da shi a fuska da fuska. Menene wace magana ce za ka gaya masa?
To ni gaskiya
Menene saƙon naka?
saƙon idan da hali to su cire wani tsoro dai yanzu gaba ɗaya abubuwa sun cakuɗe. Su cire tsoro ko kallon mai mulki ko wanda mai mulki ƙwara a ɗauko wanda bai taɓa yi ba mu gwada mu gani. Tunda su dai mun ga ƙwarewarsu. Sannan kusan duk masu juya ƙasar ga yanzu 'yan shekara 80, 90 na kuma sun yi kaka gida sai sun mutu sama. Ƙarshe in sun jaye su aza 'ya'yansu. Ka ga babu yadda za a yi a sami ci gaba. Sannan dimokuraɗiyya yanzu dai suna na kawai, ta bar aiki gaskiya. Saboda yanzu idan ka bayyana ra'ayinka ana iya zuwa a musguna ma, in ma kana da tsoro ba ka iya hitowa ga hili ka gwada ra'ayinka. Saboda da yawa ko yau ɗin ga akwai wani program da na saurara cikin rediyo na ji mallamai sun ce sun yi zama a mara ma gwamnati baya. To ka ga ba a taƙaice ba a cancanta aka magana ba. Ala dole dai ra'ayinka shi ne ra'ayin. Ka ga ana nufin idan ba ka yi haka ba mamaki ƙilan ƙungiyar nan ma a dakatar da shi ta. Ka ga gwamnati na iya dakatar da shi ta. Yanzu ya zan dole sai ka bi gwamnati ko da daɗi ko babu. To mu kuma talakawa matsalar mu duk yanzu waɗanda kaka cimma ana ce an bar su da vendors ko kuma tsadar rayuwa ko wani abu kana iya tarayya da ni an ci musu har gida sun ce za su kawo muhimmancin matsalar gwamnatin ga. To ni duk shugaban da aka yi dimokuraɗiyya ni guda ɗaya ne da shi an Marigayi Umaru Musa Yar'adua. Cikin shekara biyu ya yi mana ƙasa mun gani. Gaskiya mun ga tasiri da alfanun haka. Daga baya an ka dawo ana abubuwa sun haƙara cakuɗa. To yanzu dai sun kai inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un.
To da yake dai kowane ɗan Najeriya na da 'yancin faɗin albarkacin bakinsa, kuma yau take ranar demokradiyya ta Najeriya. Shin kana ganin wane abu ne ko wane mataki ya kamata talakawa ko kuma in ce masu yin zaɓe su ɗauka wurin ganin cewa an samu sauyi ko an yi gyara a wannan ƙasa?
Talakawa abu guda ɗaya ne. Su cire maka kwaɗayi. Duk wanda bai taimake ka ba, ba ka tsaro, ya ba ka ilimi, ya kawo ci gaba, to ban san umarnin mara masa baya ba. Ka jawo wanda baka taɓa ganin ƙwarewa tai ka gwada ka gani. In ana caccanzawa na san insha Allahu za a sami canji. Amma in an ce mutum guda ko da daɗi ko babu, yanzu in ka diba da bakin kafirai mulki gaba sun ga shekara 16, 17, 20 riƙe na ka ga akwai matsala. In ma ya daidai in bai daidai ba zai nuna wa cewa lallai shi a daidai. Saboda ɗan abin da aka ba kowa shugaban ƙasa bai dawo.
To madalla, wannan ra'ayinka ne, muna godiya da ra'ayinka, kuma masu kallo da haka muke cewa ku ci gaba da bibiyar mu a wannan tasha ta New Dawn International TV domin ci gaba da samu ko jin ra'ayoyin mutane daban-daban dangane da wannan rana da muke murna, muke mararin zagayowar ta ranar dimokuraɗiyya ta ƙasar mu Najeriya. Ku ci gaba da kasancewa tare da mu. Muna godiya. Allah ya taimaka.
Had the view of some of our to at the studio. I want to reiterate here that everything discussed here is the view of the presenter and not the view of the TV station. The last two speakers shared their view, and they all, one of them said they are contented, but the major thing is security, security, security. And then now boils down to the fact that when we come to elect our representatives, we talk about voters card, and then we're now asking how many of us complaining have our voters card. The last time I was in INEC office, I saw packs with voters cards not collected. And when I was looking at the statistics of the people that actually registered for election, this last elections, we have over 66 million registered voters. But the whole election, the people that voted, they have brought this present government to power. Votes from all the casted votes. We have just 23 million. Where are the other registered voters?
Mhm.
One of the viewers said that their vote no longer count. So this explains, and that he is not going to vote because people have lost confidence in the system, in the electoral system. How can we rekindle their interest? How can we pull down this voter apathy? How can we encourage people that this time their vote will count? Because I want to think it's a deliberate attempt on the electorate to kill their interest so that they will no longer feel it's important. Then the few individuals can manipulate the system and empower and encourage and institute themselves into power. How then do we encourage people to come out to vote?
Okay, like I said, one of the way is we must continue to sensitize, enlighten our people on the need to participate and draw their attention to the dangers of party. Uh, from what we heard from one of the viewers, many Nigerians now they have lost hope, just like you have said, in government. And if care is not taken, coming election we experience more apathy more than we have had in the past. So therefore, we must use a platform like New Dawn TV or other media stations. Let us continue to
Come out.
enlighten our people on the need to participate in election. Democracy Day, part of Democracy Day is what? Is to encourage people to participate in what? In
In
choosing
election.
their leaders. So therefore, we don't give up. Our religious leader use our pulpit to us encourage our people to participate. That's the only way we can change government. And like we have said, let's continue to voice out as Nigerian when things are wrong. We are aware that even our electoral body, there's a lot of question mark. As Nigerians, let us come together. Let's put our heads together. Let us voice out collectively
Mm.
against things that are going wrong. By so doing, things will be corrected.
Mm.
But you cannot tell me that where we have our 60,000 million Nigerians that have their voters card, only 20 million participated in election. It's
Mm.
not a good representation
Mm-mm.
in election.
Mm-mm.
So therefore, we have a big role to play. Religious leaders
Less
should
than
help.
30%.
Yes, religious leaders should help us. Our media stations should also help both radio and television. Let us reach out to our people. Let them understand that this card will help you. It's more than any amount you think that can be given to you. It's more than you just going home and be sleeping and you are expecting miracle. It will not work. The only miracle is you and I. Let us participate in choosing our leaders.
Mm. And if I may ask before you talk, registration of voters card, whether it's missing, face, have changed location, you still have up to 10th of July to register.
Yes.
So please, you can start it online. Go to INEC portal, start it online, then go to the nearest INEC office to your location, and then get it completed there. You still have now the 10th of July. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have seen our viewer in the streets, and they are pouring their hearts to the nation because of how they are feeling. And that is why the other speaker say he will not vote because of the situations they are passing through in Nigeria. In fact, the vote is still counts. And that is why we are encouraging every Nigerian to have this voters card. And that is your power. That is what you can use to change the system we are talking about. You can see people on the street, the other woman we are saying, let them fear God. And if our leaders are not fearing God today, at least we must see one among thousands that can still fear God. And these are things that every Nigerian now should remove religion and focus who can change this system. I was traveling to Kaduna. The other Okada man said, 2,000 fuel cannot do him. I was in the filling station. Okada man said he bought fuel of 1,500 and he make 2,000. So his gain is 500. We stop at park and we enter Keke. As we are going, the fuel got finished. We said the Keke man, what is the problem? He said, I don't know. He just came out of the Keke and stood at the back of the Keke. We are inside waiting for him. We don't know what is happening. It was one of us that went back and saw him stranded and said, what is there? What is happening? He said, it's the fuel. Encourage him, he can go there and get roadside fuel, and so that we can continue going. When he got the fuel and he put it and he came back, he sat. He said, this government. We said, what did the government do to you? He said, he bought fuel this morning. You see, our PVC is what we have to change this narrative. I want to encourage Nigeria, even though we have few pains, we need to come out this present time and see that we vote person we can say, yes, we can trust this person at 75%. We can trust this person 75% with our PVC, and we can change the system of government. We need Nigeria to come out. If you are in your home and you keep the PVC, you will still complain in this 4 years to come. But when we come out and we can see things done in Nigeria, everyone in Nigeria is feeling this pain.
Everybody.
Everybody. If we begin to go every street in Nigeria, it's one cry we are receiving. Look at how many people they interview. Only one thing they are crying. The other one say he will remove the elderly one in the government.
Mm.
You see how he's failing him
Mm.
because of the system we are having in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. We have another viewer, street viewer. Let's share his view too.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. We are live on the street again. So, his take on democracy is, Daddy, what's your take on democracy, sir?
Well, democracy is a day that is made for us, yes, good and fine, to honor the death of late Abiola. And we know vividly that that day was supposed to be on the 29th of May. But in terms of honoring one of the heroes of the past, it was now shifted to June 12th, which we sincerely appreciate such gesture. But as I know, as far as democracy is concerned, I think it is useful for we, the country, Nigerians, yeah. And we are very happy about that. Thank you.
So, sir, is Nigeria like, we know the meaning of democracy? Like, are we operating in that democracy, or just like, what's your take with what is happening in Nigeria today and democracy, the real definition of democracy? Are we operating in that democracy, or we are doing another thing, sir?
Well, I know it is supposed to be the government of the people for the people. Yes, in as much as we are able to have that opportunity where we get close to our leaders and we are able to channel our responsibility or our request to them, and they listen to us. They make their own personal effort to seeing that our requests are being answered. I think to me, we are really doing what democracy is all about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, sir, as you know, election is coming soon. Do you have PVC, sir?
Yes, I have my private voter's card. It is my responsibility for me as a patriotic Nigerian to have a PBC, because then I will have the power to be able to vote for the person I want. And by the time you are able to vote, the person of your desire is able to win. I think that is what we really want. But the tendency where I don't have, others voted, they may vote the wrong person who may come and will not be able to handle the country, and I will suffer the consequences of it. And as such, I feel it is my responsibility as a Nigerian, as a patriotic citizen of this country, to have that PVC so that I can cast my vote and determine whoever will be our leader in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now let's go back to the studio.
So I'm Dr. Moses.
There's another view. He said democracy has been very beautiful. He recalled that is in respect of late MKO Abiola, June 12th, like we all said when we started this discussion. So, and like we were saying, we noticed that we have uh, voters apathy, and we're discussing on it, and we said everybody should get his voters card and go to the polling uh, unit to vote. But one other thing we observed from our previous elections, I called somebody from Kogi State the last election, and I was asking how was the election in Lokoja, and the person said while they were on queue trying to vote, they saw an helicopter. The helicopter came, and before they know what is happening, they begin to hear gunshot coming out of the helicopter. So they all ran away, and the
Yeah,
election did not take place, but the result was announced in Kogi State.
wow.
So, what is the safety of the voters in the election? Because if, and you know the funniest thing,
Mm,
he said the helicopter was not a private helicopter, it was carrying the Nigerian police logo.
mm.
So the police that was meant to protect was the one that scared them off. So what happened? Why would I want to come back to vote next time in such a polling unit when I knew that my life is not safe? So you see why some people are scared of coming out. Not just that their voters vote will not count, but how secure is the polling booth on the day of election?
You see, the good thing there is that we are all Nigerian. Your family member is also there.
Mm,
So I want us to know that whatever we are doing now will haunt us back tomorrow.
mm,
Now, I'm so sorry. What happened to that general in Katsina? When you go to social media, many people were saying that maybe when he was in power, it's possible he didn't do anything about security.
mm,
But today, he's not in power, he's in the hands of bandits.
mm.
So the truth of the matter is that when we are clamoring and calling that Nigerian, there should be a better Nigerian, a better Nigerian, it's not all about today, it's also about tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Today you are in a position whereby I remember I saw a video where Sore and former minister of Attorney General of the Federation
Federation.
Malami,
Mm,
where he was telling him now, how do you feel when you are being arrested by government?
mm.
How are you feeling
The
now?
same government you
The
were
same
protecting
government.
or serving
Exactly.
some few months ago.
So now you are not in power. How do you feel now? So what we are trying to say, whatever we are seeing today is because you are in power. One day you will not be there. You have children. So I want to call on our people. We should know. That's why one of our viewers said that please, our leaders, fear God.
Mm,
Today, where Ismail and Nasru El-Rufai, he's detained by DSS.
mm,
Who knew it was going to be so?
mm, mm,
So the fact that today you are in a comfort zone does not mean that you continue to be there. The system you are creating today may haunt you tomorrow. If it is good, fine. If it is bad, fine. So I want to appeal to our people, to our leaders. Please let us do things that are right. So that if tomorrow you are not there, this thing will also favor you. I am pleading to our leader. It's all about tomorrow, our better Nigeria, a new Nigeria. It's not about personal, about myself or the other persons, about every Nigerian. And that's why we continue to voice out, we continue to call on our leaders. The right thing should be done. And if the right thing is done, I tell you, we are going to have a new Nigeria where everything will flourish and everybody will be happy.
mm.
Thank you so much. Our security agencies, uh, ambassador says we should look back because of our tomorrow, our children. What you think today you're on top, tomorrow you will be down. And the system is not permanent.
Hmm?
Even this government, if we know the other government is just 8 years, we begin to see another side of it. One thing I want to tell the security personnel, one, you can't hide the truth. And it's only the truth
I can set you
that can set you free and save you. They may deny you your rights. They may take your position. They may retire you. But that truth will continue to speak for you. Let's assume that what happened, the helicopter shooting and people scared away. If you say no, it will not happen. But if you encourage it, you are still part of the problem Nigeria is having. It's when our security agencies, and it's only security agencies, if they stand out and withdraw, this government will surrender. This government will listen to the voice of Nigeria because these are the people that will secure them. And if they say no, what I'm seeing today is not what I supposed to get, I won't
Mm.
be part of this.
But do you think it's possible for the security to stand up, to
It's,
stand out? For example, now, Who appoints the Inspector General of Police?
The government,
The president.
president.
President. So now the president will appoint you and send you on errand and tell you that, look, secure so state for me for this election.
That is
That's why we're saying having fear of God. Are you getting me?
Yes.
If you're a Christian or Muslim, genuinely, and you have the fear of God in you,
Mm.
you can't bend because you know that tomorrow you will still face the judgment.
But you see,
Let's assume,
but you know one thing I want you to look
yes,
at. The economic situation of the country is so hard that everybody thinks of how to protect his position or seat. So the fear of God and that integrity has been put aside now. Somebody was there, he's not playing my game. And I look for a reason. Why was you remember what happened during Buhari's regime when the CJ of the nation was removed some few months to election, and they prosecuted him, and later he was forgiven, and he was retired. His benefit was given to him, but another person to play the game that they wanted was put in place. So
So,
if
Barrister, you see, this issue has to do with electorate. Let me tell you, the thing, it depends on how we're able to choose the right leader. If you take a criminal to leadership position, you should expect that everything will be done is about criminality.
then in that case, that's very good. I like that point. Now, in that case, should we now include in our electoral process that for every leader that will contest any position in Nigeria, they should take him through the psychiatric checkup for mental state, if he's a drug addict, and other things? Because
there's nothing wrong about it.
but that's not part of our system for now.
That's
Maybe we
why I
should
kept-
start
that's why-
recommending
that's why
that
we-
we should be doing such. We only do medical field.
If you remember,
But psychiatric,
if you remember, we talked
Mm,
about our institution, and we see one of the ways that we can strengthen our institution. One is when the people learn to voice out with one voice.
yes.
And number two, we have our voters card. Anybody we are bringing, let us bring somebody that will do justice to this nation in terms of ensuring that all our institutions are working as expected, like the EFCC, like the judiciary, like the electoral body. Now, if all these institutions are effective, I tell you, any leader that come on board, you will not be able to manipulate the whole thing. So when
I
we are
agree with
getting wrongs are one, we have to agree that we are one Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
We must focus on one purpose, one goal, one vision.
Mm.
And at the same time, we must participate actively in choosing who are going to become our leaders. Like we have said, now, when choosing leadership, we forget about religion, forget about ethnic group, where you're coming from, the who can
Look at
do the
competence.
job. Now, when you have a good leader will accept or will support this our institution to be strong. And when you have a strong system, institution, what do you expect? No leaders can violate. Look at somebody like Yaradua. Yaradua was a president of Nigeria. Both Christians and Muslims, people
Enjoyed.
from South and West,
Yes, everybody
everybody is
enjoyed it.
commending, saying good things about Yaradua.
Yes.
Now, this is someone that fears God. Imagine, for instance, if Yaradua spent good years in office, 8 years, what do you expect by he was somebody that respected rule of law.
Yes.
How many of our leaders today are respecting rule of law?
At all.
Now,
As criminals should not be there.
yes, to actually sum up everything, let me say that it boils down on the electorate who we bring as a leader. Number two, we must ensure we speak one voice whenever things are wrong. Sometimes our politicians are using our judiciary to achieve what they want to achieve. There are people who are celebrating what they're doing. When we are supposed to talk, collectively speak in one voice against what is happening. When INEC rig election, it favors you, you clap for INEC. But when it doesn't favor you, that's when you begin to lament. We must agree we are Nigeria. We should agree we have one purpose, one mission, and we want to achieve it. Then let us come together and work together as one body. Now, when Nigeria are facing trouble now, in the interview, the street interview, virtually everybody is complaining on one thing: hardship, economic hardship, insecurity, insecurity. Why is it that if you want to speak, you say, no, It's happening in the Igbo land or Yoruba land or Hausa land. Nobody is saying that it's happening to Nigeria.
Everybody.
We now agree we are Nigeria because it's Wala.
Mm.
But when it comes to the right thing to be done, why is it that we cannot come together as one Nigerian so that we can work and ensure that we bring the right leader? And when the right leader will let him do what is expected of him by strengthening our institutions. And when our institutions are well strengthened, let me tell you, sir, whoever that comes to power, there's no way you can manipulate the game.
Mm. Mm.
Nigerians, we need to stand up. We need to sit our rights. One of the interview in the street, he said, 2013, 2014. And that is when Goodluck was in the position. And today, they want Goodluck to come back to contest.
When they're the same people that
They are the same people that pull him out. Now, they can see some truth and good governance in him. And that is why they want to bring him back for him to continue into the system. It's now we need to get it right.
Mm.
It's now. Every Nigeria, the pain is everywhere. If you go to hospital today, you examine 100 people that enter hospital. It's less than 10 people that will not have blood pressure, high blood pressure. You will see some people today walking on the street, they'll fall and die. What are they thinking? The situations of Nigeria. Is now Nigerian and maybe especially our youth, our youth needs to be addressed. Secondly, our religious leaders, it's high time that we should not be castigating other religion. Let's talk on how this country will be better.
Mm.
Tell your religious people that we need to get it right.
Mm.
Get your PVC, come out and vote. No minding the religion, but who you can see that he can deliver us out of this problem. Let's just follow the person and see how this Nigeria will go.
Okay, thank you very much. As we try to round up this section, I want us, starting from my far right, I want us to give in just the word. What do you have for the Nigerian voters? What is your advice to the Nigerian voters?
My advice to Nigerians is one, as we can see, many Nigerians we are not happy with what is happening in our country today. And many Nigerians said that there's nothing to be celebrated. But there's one way out for us. 2027 is by the corner. I want to encourage every Nigerian to ensure that you have your voters card. I want to encourage every Nigerian to go out and vote. And when voting, please check who you are voting. Someone that have a good track record. We should avoid a voting that has to do with religion or ethnic group. There's someone who can do the job. We are Nigerians and we need a better and a brighter Nigeria. And if we are looking for that, we must ensure that we participate in the forthcoming general election. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. My advice to Nigeria, avoid vote buying. Don't collect the spaghetti, Maggi, salt. And after 4 years, you'll be crying and suffering. Come out and vote, no matter the insecurity, no matter whatever. Your vote counts. Your vote counts. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will want to ask the Nigerian electorate this question: that have Nigerian institutions become strong enough to hold every citizen, from the poorest villager to the most powerful politician, to the same legal standard? The question is left with you. If it is yes, then you can keep on voting the present crew of leaders we have. But if it is no, then vote wisely in the next election. Thank you very much.
Thank you.